We've been on an improvement journey for about the last 10 or 12 years now. And as part of that, one of the elements is really about thinking about how we better use the data we have to be able to support our efforts to keep improving the care we provide and the outcomes we're able to deliver for our local populations. One of the early steps we made in this was thinking as a board, how do we best use the information that comes to us in order to make decisions and in order to understand the quality of care that's being provided. And we, about 10 years ago, shifted from tables of data and RAG rating scorecards towards a set of whole system measures, which we started to look at consistently every board meeting and being able to see the difference we were making over time. We started to do that manually at first, just starting from very simple line charts that we created manually in Excel, but very quickly moved on from that to run charts and control charts, which gives us much more specificity about when is something unusual happening that we need to pay attention to, and when is something stable and in control that we don't need to pay attention to if it's delivering what we want it to. So we started to move towards control charts at the board, and it's made a really big difference in guiding our conversation towards the places where we really needed to focus our attention as a board, and the places where we were also seeing improvement on the back of the efforts of our staff and service users to improve the system.
What we've developed here is a range of control charts to give people the opportunity to use the most appropriate chart for the type of data they're using. It's a question about what's going to help us make better decisions and using the most appropriate chart for the type of data. That's why I think it's really important that we have the range of control charts that we're making available here so that you can choose the most appropriate one.
Our baseline ends on the 22nd of December, so all you do is click on the data point and a little toolbox appears. One really important thing when it comes to SPC chart is annotating what has happened. So if we click on this data point here, you'll see there's an option for annotation. So I could simply write QI project begins. Press save, and there you go, annotation has appeared here. What we would do in this case is we would recalculate the limits. And if you click on this data point, you'll see options to recalculate. So we've got start shift, and this allows you to specify when you want to start the shift, when you want to end the shift, but we're going to use this option here, shift 8 points.
There's an additional feature that we're finding really useful at the moment, which is how it aligns to something called making data count, which is the NHS Improvement, NHS England's preferred way of demonstrating SPC. We can quite easily just drag and drop our data and our fields into it, and then it will enable us to very quickly see the patterns and trends.
What we realised was that we couldn't just make that change at the board though. We needed to also think about how each of our teams, and we have over 300 teams, could also look at their data in a way that gives them an understanding of variation, so they can see how they're doing, where they're doing well, where they're not doing so well, where things are improving, where they're not improving, and where they need to focus. And obviously, when you think about the complexity of data in healthcare, where we have data coming from so many different sources, clinical systems, but also non-clinical systems, HR systems, finance systems, safety systems, we needed to think about a way to integrate that and make that available to our staff in a simple way that they can view their data in one place in a consistent way over time. And that's when we got a bit stuck, because there wasn't anything out there in the market that would enable us to do that. So we partnered and developed EasySPC with BCN, and we have now found a way to integrate the EasySPC tool into Power BI so that each of our teams can access their data in a single place in Power BI, which gives them access to their data from a computer, from a laptop, from a mobile or a tablet, wherever they are, but also to be able to see that in a way that helps them look at data over time using control charts. And now our staff, 10 years on, having learned about quality improvement, are very familiar with looking at data in this way, so they can spot very quickly when something needs to be paid attention to or when something is moving in the right direction or the wrong direction.
It's kind of serendipitous, really. So a long-standing IHI colleague of ours had recently seen a demonstration of the work that BCN Healthcare had done with the East London Trust. And he said that they were using some statistical process charting tools that may be of interest to us. So initially, our interest with BCN Healthcare was limited to the EasySPC product. But as we started learning more about the company and learning more about the work and the really great things that they were doing, it became pretty clear they had experience doing the very thing that we were at the start of with regards to creating some enterprise level visualizations using Power BI and implementing those across the organization at scale.
We wanted to modernize that report and move away from RAG rating, so red, amber, green rating, and move towards a more of an SPC approach, which was similar to, well, exactly the same as what Making Data Count was doing nationally. Make it simple for the analysts to do and make it simple for the organization to interpret and understand. And if we were to do it ourselves or build maybe some of the other tools that were out there, we'd either be doing it in Excel or there'd be a lot of coding and manipulation involved, and it wouldn't quite make it as easy for our organization as I wanted it to be. I wanted to make it as seamless and easy as possible for not just the analysts, but the execs and all the senior leaders within the organization.
EasySPC is aptly named. It's really a very useful and simple tool to use. Out of the gate, it's had a pretty profound impact. They've started converting these charts that they had previously in Excel or perhaps Tableau or maybe some other types of visualization tools, and they're really starting to use EasySPC in their day-to-day work. What we've done initially is taken the health acquired condition metrics and we've stood those up with EasySPC. And then we've taken some of our patient family experience scores and we've stood those up. So we've taken some of our organizational domain standing metrics that's of interest to our board, of interest to our executive leadership, and we've brought them into a single report, something that we've never really achieved fully. We've had some enterprise level reporting, but the ability to share it at scale has always been a bit of a challenge for us here at Cincinnati Children's. So we're really looking forward to being able to share these across the organization, not only with the board, not only with executive leadership, but really across all of Cincinnati Children's.
It does exactly what it says on its tin, right? It is easy to develop SPC charts in there. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It was very, I'm going to say easy again, aren't I? Very easy and straightforward for us to be able to utilize it. But the fact that you can re-baseline makes a big difference. I've tried doing that in other software and haven't been as successful as what EasySPC chart does.
This is now quite a sophisticated tool because it takes data from thousands of different sources and lots of different measures and brings it together into a single platform, all visualized together. And our teams have found that super helpful. They've now got a single place where they can look at their data in a consistent way. And we're starting to move beyond just looking at data that we already hold and starting to think a little bit more in an advanced way about predictive analytics. Some of the new things we're building give our teams ways to be able to spot problems even before they occur using things like early warning systems. So it's been a real journey and evolution for us in our organization about shifting the way we use data from static data, looking at just assurance style reports, whether we're meeting a target or not, to actually looking at data in a consistent way. Whether you're a team, whether you're a divisional director, or whether you're the whole trust or organization level data, we look at it in the same way now. And we're able to make decisions based on a good understanding of the variation, which statistical process control charts, or control charts as we use them, give us now in much more detail. So it's been a really exciting journey to be on, and we've been proud to partner with BCN in this work. They've brought a lot of capability and technology that we couldn't have done by ourselves. And we're really proud to have developed the EasySPC tool, which is now being used all around the world by organizations who want to bring all of their data to their teams in a simple to use way, which allows them to access all of the additional functionality that control charts gives you when you're trying to make sense of whether your system or your team is improving the care it's delivering or not.